5 seconds to go. Start. Reconsideration of the same is not merely an issue of insurance coverage, rather, it directly pertains to the livelihood of those operating transport vehicles of the LMV class, thereby giving rise to a fair consideration of their rights under Article 19(1)(g). It was submitted that if this court upsets Mukund Devgan 2017, which it should note, a transition period of 12 to 24 months be provided. The above submissions will now require our consideration. It is true that in its PIL jurisdiction, this court has passed orders in a myriad of cases, including elevating the right of road safety to a fundamental right. It has also taken over policy areas by appointing commissioners to gather facts or to take expert advice in the form of reports. However, this court should be conscious that this is neither a public interest litigation jurisdiction nor is the court testing the constitutional validity of any of the provisions. Moreover, no empirical data has been produced before us to show that road accidents in India have increased as a direct result of drivers with LMV license plying a transport vehicle of LMV class of vehicles whose gross weight is within 7,500 kg. Road safety is indeed an important objective of the MV Act, but our reasoning must not be founded on unverified assumptions without any empirical data. The dangers of reasoning without empirical data and beyond the statutory scheme of the Act must be avoided. While we are mindful of issues of road safety, the task of crafting policy lies within the domain of the legislature. As a constitutional court, it is not our role to dictate policy decisions or rewrite laws. We must be mindful of the institutional limitation to address such concerns. The complexities surrounding the question of whether the court should examine not only the existing laws and definitions but also the broader underlying issues of policy have been vividly captured in the following words from Salmon's own jurisprudence. Rules which are originally designed to fit social needs develop into concepts which then proceed to take on a life of their own to the detriment of legal development. The resulting jurisprudence of concepts produces a slot machine approach to law, whereby new points posing questions of social policy are decided not by reference to the underlying social situation, but by reference to the meaning and definition of the legal concepts involved. This formalistic a priori approach confines the law in a straitjacket instead of permitting it to expand to meet the new needs and requirements of changing society. In such cases, courts should examine not only the existing laws and legal concepts but also the broader underlying issues of policy. In fact, presently, judges are seen to be paying increasing attention to the possible effects of their decision one way or the other. Such an approach is to be welcomed, but it also warrants two comments. First, judicial inquiry into the general effects of a proposed decision tends itself to be of a fairly speculative nature. Secondly, too much regard for policy and too little for legal consistency may result in a confusing and illogical complex of contrary decisions. And while it is true that the life of the law has not been logic, it has been experience, and that we should not wish it otherwise. Nevertheless, we should remember that no system of law can be workable if it has not got logic at the root of it. What follows from the above is that, whether possible, the court must attempt to be consistent in its approach. The principle of stare decisis, which mandates that courts adhere to established precedents, plays a crucial role in maintaining legal stability and predictability. The finding in Mukund Devgan 2017 need not be disturbed owing to speculative concerns of road safety that intersect with broader policy issues. We may recall that during the course of the present proceeding, the central government was arrayed and the learned Attorney General was requested to obtain instructions on whether the legislative wing would wish to examine and undertake an appropriate amendment on the legal question of whether a person holding a driving license for a light motor vehicle is entitled to legally drive a transport vehicle of a specified weight. An order to this effect was passed in light of the possible social impact of the reference, particularly on road safety and the livelihood issue. Pursuant to this, the learned Attorney General submitted a note inter alia suggesting multiple amendments, including a further classification of LMVs into LMV Class 1 and LMV Class 2, each with different weight thresholds. Had the Parliament acted sooner to amend the MV Act and clearly differentiated between classes, categories, and types, much of the uncertainty surrounding driving licenses could have been addressed, reducing the need for frequent litigation and an unclear legal terrain. The confusion and inconsistency in judicial decisions continued to persist for 25 years, starting from the 1999 decision in Ashok Gangadhar Maratha Supra. Road safety is a serious public health issue globally. It is crucial to mention that in India, over 1.7 lakh persons were killed in road accidents in 2023. The causes of such accidents are diverse, and assumptions that they stem from drivers operating light transport vehicles with an LMV license are unsubstantiated. Factors contributing to road accidents include careless driving, speeding, poor road design, and failure to adhere to traffic laws. Other significant contributors are mobile phone usage, fatigue, and non compliance with seat belt or helmet regulations. Driving a motor vehicle is a complex task requiring both practical skills and theoretical knowledge. Safe driving involves not only technical vehicle control but also proficiency in various road conditions, including managing speed, turns, and spatial awareness relative to other vehicles. Additionally, handling road gradients demands skill, particularly with brakes and maneuvering. Effective driving requires awareness of road signs, adherence to traffic rules, and a focus on the road free from distractions. The core skills expected of all drivers apply universally, regardless of whether the vehicle falls into transport or non transport categories. At this juncture, it is also essential to note the scheme devised in accordance with Section 75 of MV Act, whereby the prerequisites in the form of general conditions to be maintained by the holder of license ensure safety and compliance. Certain guidelines have also been enacted insofar as aggregators are concerned, whereby chapters outlining conditions for grant of license for aggregator, compliance with regard to drivers, compliance with regard to vehicles, as also compliances to ensure safety. Stop.